Good afternoon. And after session, Commerce Everywhere, we all know that merchandising is an integral part of retail. And actually, I will start with an anecdote. 3 years before, I started on my journey working with an online retail. After working in retail for about, you can say 8 years, when I went to the online company and I really had my collars high and I said, do you know anything about merchandise hierarchy? They say, what is merchandise hierarchy? I said it's a classification of products, how you classify the products, and all retailers work that way. And I've worked in companies which are the kind of leading practice in category management and merchandising. They said, no, we don't know merchandise, means we don't need merchandise hierarchy. Why you are insisting on that? What you do in merchandising hierarchy? I said, okay, you classify the product the way customer buys and the way you lay out the store. They said there is no store. And our customers can buy anyway. They can use search. They can click on, there are so many tabs, they can click the tab and they can actually reach anywhere. So you don't need merchandise hierarchy. In fact, that actually made myself thinking at that time that many of the concepts that we work on retail, what is their relevance to online retail? And I must assure you the situation was not so bad. Ultimately, I was able to convince the online, and there is a very strong relevance of all retail concepts in online retail there. So this was so every time you get challenged, and I think I am expecting that next 45 minutes, we have some insights from the industry players who are the practitioner of all these practices. We have panelists from the technology companies, and there are people like Bhavik who are actually driving this revolution of online retail. So coming on to that, the merchandising hierarchy aspect itself, I'd like to put this question to the panel, that what are the challenges that you face in concepts like merchandise hierarchy when you extend to from offline retail to online retail?
So we have a chain of department stores. I'm from Shopify, and we're not new to the concept of merchandise hierarchy. In fact, we have years and years of data that we've collated and a lot of effort gone behind streamlining our merchandise hierarchy. However, when we go online and we're looking at omni-channel initiatives, we realize that suddenly there are various ways a customer can actually shop, right? You can shop by color, shop by size, shop by occasion, and suddenly you can add close to 30 or 40 or 50 attributes to the hierarchy. So it's like a merchandise hierarchy in your physical retail format is on steroids when it comes online. And we see the relevance of that. And from an omni-channel perspective, when you actually have that, let's say, for example, a retailer would have it in his stores and the kiosks. I mean, the underlying principle being the same, that you'd like the customer to get to the product in the fastest possible time. And if you're in the store and you don't find an item, you quickly hop online, or you check your mobile, you hop onto the kiosks, and you can quickly get to the product that you want to get to. So hierarchy, very relevant in both formats, and in fact online it's amplified. That's my take.
So we basically come from more an online space. We're born in online, we're born in cloud. We're a young company working with some of the large enterprise players, including Pooja. My take on, I think, merchandising hierarchy is that, probably, yes, it, do follow the standard principles of retail, but when we actually look at two forms or two formats of retail, it's completely there's a huge spectrum change that happens. When it comes to offline retail, we probably, yes, we always will try to map it to the fastest reaching algorithms. But when it comes to online, there is no limit to the way you can actually categorize your products. So probably a sportswear in an offline retail will only lie in a sportswear section. But when you actually go online, you can put it under men's section, you can put it in a sportswear, you can segment by age, you can segment by color, you can segment by promotions, you can segment. So there's no limitation to the actual merchandise, the position of that merchandise. While, in the offline format, I cannot put that same product in 10 spaces. I have a limited inventory to show. But when it comes to virtual merchandising, there is no limitation. It's about how you analyze your data. It's about how you analyze your own customers. If you know the segments that are going to buy this product, it's just go by segments, attribute to the smallest segmentation that you can do. There are various segmentation options available. We can actually merchandise basis the recency of product which is getting sold, the frequency of products that is sold, the monetary aspects of the product, and then high value, low value. So I think there is a huge spectrum gap. While we always talk about the standard principles, we want user to buy quickly, but there is no limitation when it comes to online or omni-channel. As we go from offline to online is what probably my take is on.
Okay, further, now all the sales that you make, there are like concept to, some of you have your own websites and many of you sell through marketplaces. So I actually like to know views from the panel that what are the cases where you would like to sell through marketplaces and where you would like to sell through your own website or a combination thereof.
So at India Circus, we sell through both. We have our own website as well as we sell through a marketplace. When it comes to business, it just makes sense that you analyze and see, is your marketing cost lower than what you're giving to marketplaces? Because if your marketing cost for selling through your own website is going to be cheaper than selling through the margins that you give away to a marketplace, it just makes sense to do it through your website. Having said that, we are still trying to figure out. So, what we are currently doing is we sell through both. However, what we've seen is when we started, of course, we had the huge jump because the marketplace already has a huge base. At that time, our own website was giving 40% and the marketplace would account to 60%. Over the year and a half that we've grown, our website takes away 95% and marketplace has gone down to 5%. So if you need to expand in marketplace, then it becomes very, very important that you work closer with the marketplace and make sure that they give you enough amount of importance and visibility so that you can actually take your sales up even in a marketplace. So I think that's my take on.
And I'm going to add something to that. So at Shopify, we're seeing a very similar trend. The idea was, I think a year ago, we were promoting to small businesses that you needed to be online, right? That this online was going to happen. It was something your business needed to be a part of. This year, as we talk and we look at the changing landscape and has it ever changed, the message is not just you need to be online. People understand that. It's that you need to be everywhere online. And as a small business, if online is new to you, or as a physical retailer, you've never ventured into the online space, you need to get a sale online anywhere you can. That's the reality of it. And because marketplaces have the benefit of bringing that traffic to you, you should benefit from that. You should latch on to that, and maybe you do pay a bit of a premium on that visitor. However, what happens is that after that first transaction from an online customer, you now have a relationship with them. You've now had an interaction with them. They now understand your brand. And the second time they come back, the repeat visit, which in many cases is the showstopper. They could have bought something, but getting them back the second time is really the key. You want to have the margin on that sale. You want to have the customer experience on that sale. You want to have the ability to know whether a marketplace is going to be retargeting them in a pestering fashion versus you who might have an email campaign that's a little bit more casual and conversational with the merchant. So it's about taking control of that element of your business. Get the sales anywhere you can, but as time goes on, make sure that those sales come back to you so you can control as much of the experience.
Ranjan, you would like to say anything?
Yeah, so I pretty much agree with that because if you look at Bessa the way we go, we wanted to go online. But the first thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to test the waters. And the best way to do that was, let's look at the marketplace. There are already players available who have the customers, who have the base, who have the technology available to make it available. Why not